Sills! Happy Tuesday to you. Man, again, like a broken record here, sports world leads the news. It's always feel good, too. By the way, last night, watching LeBron James play the way he did at 38, tell you what, a lot of respect for that guy. You know why? I may not like LeBron James and a lot of things he does when it comes to how he conducts himself and outlook. And what I mean by that is this, telling us about our politics and then working with the Chinese government and all that. And I'm not going to go knee deep into this. I'm not starting the show off like that. But watching him play last night, ton of respect for him. He has been an absolute model for the NBA. Never been in trouble. He's carried the torch. And as a guy who carries the torch for a particular league, it's important. And maybe that's one of the things that John Morant doesn't get. LeBron James just can't do and wave guns and do whatever. He's the face of the NBA, and he's been the face of the NBA for 20 years. He's carried that mantle pretty damn good, I got to tell you. And I watched him play his ass off last night. He did. And you know what? Again, no victory in a loss, but he showed up. How many times you see people just not show up? And I thought that was pretty good stuff last night. So, again, fantastic stuff for him last night. Now, let me do this to you. So the NFL, once again, is taking advantage of you. One thing that I don't like to usually do, because what's my number one job here, is to sell sports. The guys who come out and always rip sports, and the guys who come out and always take a shit on what they're talking about, dude, I mean, the bottom line here is I sell sports. This is what I do. I sell sports. I'm supposed to be a Pied Piper for them. So I traditionally don't like to do this shit. But here's a typical NFL move. Do you actually think the NFL gives a shit if you show up to Lincoln Financial? You think Jeffrey Lurie cares that you show up to Lincoln Financial? You think he cares? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think he cares? By the way, he was one of the owners that voted to flex the schedule. Okay? What? You think your owner cares? He don't give a shit. I think the NFL would rather have you stay at home and watch games than go to Lincoln Financial. Their actions this week have proved that. Yesterday, it proved it. They'd rather have you home than go to a game. So you get to flex out the Thursday games. I'm not going to get into the particulars because I don't give a shit. Once again, it's a slap in the face of the fans. When you're putting out, and these owners think you guys have disposable income that you can eat a plane ticket or a hotel reservation. Imagine just being that rich that they don't give a shit and they're just like blind to the fact that you guys put money down maybe on a trip. Then you're not going to be able to go to it. You want to go to a particular place to watch a game. Maybe you've never been to a stadium. I think today's NFL owners make it harder to be fans of the team that they root for. Ticket prices are through the roof. Those obnoxious PSLs. Wait a minute. I got to stand in line to hopefully buy season tickets. And I got to pay $10,000 to do that. So you double dip your fans. Now you take a shit on them. And again, you're telling me about player safety? There's not a person on the planet who... And did you even run this by the NFL Players Association? Or are you just doing it? Are you guys just doing it? I mean, to me, once again, just shows you that the National Football League doesn't care about their fan base. They just don't care about it. They've never cared. Well, no, that's not true. Till the TV money got this big and how big the TV money is now. They don't give a shit about you, man. They don't care if you show up to Lincoln Finance. Every owner should have vetoed that. All the tailgating parties. How about the Europe trips, too, that take home games away from places like Lincoln Financial and Arrowhead or the fans in Buffalo. You take all those great events away from the fans. You think those guys give a shit about that? Of course they don't. Care about moving the cash register. The players are not business partners in that league. Like the NBA, they are business partners. Just shows you right there, man. They would rather have you sit home, watch the game, gamble on the game, than go to Lincoln Financial. Those stadiums, you could theoretically play the NFL games in 5 stadiums across the country, have different times, and you could theoretically not have to have these billion-dollar stadiums for owners and creating their wealth. You really don't need to build 2 stadiums in California. You could play them all in one place, 2 places, 3 places in the country. You don't really need to do it. But that doesn't matter because what they do is they go to you guys and they ask you to increase their net wealth. Dude, what an absolute. And again, people will go, Sills, you're making a big deal out of the flex schedule? No, I'm making a big deal on how people don't give a shit about the working man in this country, and they don't care about how you guys don't have disposable income, and you make it harder to be a fan today. That's what I'm bitching at. That's what I'm bitching at. I don't even give a shit about it. Player safety. It's a ruse, man. These people don't care. Good afternoon, Neil. Appreciate it. All right. We got a ton of stuff on the schedule today. By the way, Randy Cross, we're going to talk a little 49ers football. 49ers! Why, you got a neutral site for the Super Bowl? Why not, Double? Neutral site for the playoffs. Why not? Why not hold the Super Bowl into place? Hey, Double, has any NFL fan ever asked this? If you have the best regular season record, why can't you hold a championship game in your own stadium? Like, why shouldn't the Eagles have been able to hold the championship game at Lincoln Financial, the Super Bowl? Why do you have to go to some other place? Why again? Because it's warmer? Who gives a shit? Football's played outside in all kinds of weather. Yeah, but it's for the fans. No, it's not. Since when is it for the fans? It's for TV. It's for Chamber of Commerce looks. I've always said this. If some team's 15-1, shouldn't you be rewarded for that? Whether it's Green Bay or it's Miami. You should be able to host a Super Bowl in your own stadium. If they don't give a shit about, and that argument, well, it doesn't give the fans enough time to get to the Super Bowl. Well, you're flexing Thursday and Sunday games now. You think they have time to change their schedules? The NFL talks out of both sides of their mouth. I mean, you have the best record. You should be rewarded for that. They do in baseball. Okay? So we're going to talk to Randy Cross at 4:30, and we are working on Seth Joyner for hopefully 5:30. I asked Seth if he wanted to come on a little bit earlier in the process, and we're waiting to hear back. But hopefully we get Seth on at around 5:30 today. So we welcome you, and we welcome you aboard here with us. All right. I want to give you this because this is fresh off the presses here. Fresh off the presses. Pro Football Focus's top 10 quarterbacks heading into the 2023 season. Here they are, top 10, according to Pro Football Focus, baby. Yes, sir. This is the Bible of NFL football. Your 10 best quarterbacks heading into OTAs, end of July training camp. Sue, how you doing? Thanks for stepping in. Number 10, the greatness of Dak Prescott. comes in at number 10 for Pro Football Focus's best 10 quarterbacks in the league. At number 9, Mr. Purple, Kirk Cousins. Mr. Yardage. Number 8, according to Pro Football Focus, the Bible of the NFL. Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville Jaguars. He's really come along, hasn't he? Since Urban Meyer's time. He really has, man. I'm proud of the kid. Number 7, according to Pro Football Focus, these are your top 10 signal callers heading into the season. Jalen Hurts, number 7, Philadelphia Eagles. Here are the quarterbacks that are ranked ahead of Jalen Hurts, according to Pro Football Focus. Lamar Jackson at number 6, Baltimore Ravens. Number 5, according to Pro Football Focus, your top 10 quarterbacks. Aaron, 4-time NFL MVP, New York Jet, Rodgers. At number 4, according to Pro Football Focus and not Big Sills, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. Number 3, according to Pro Football Focus, the St. Big Sills. Joe, soon to be $52 million per year, Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. Number 2, the greatness of Wyoming Cowboys' own Josh, Bills Mafia, Allen. Number 2. And the man in Kansas City sits atop the 10 best quarterbacks, according to Pro Football Focus. Patrick Mahomes. Damn! Dude, it's pretty impressive, though. All kidding aside, your boy's in the top 10. It's insanity. He wasn't in the top 20 last year. Not for me, man. That year he came off that playoff game against the Buccaneers, I didn't think shit of him. You got him now 7 and rising? I think it's incredible. I don't think that's any disrespect. By the way, here's how you have to look at a list like this. Hurts is top 3. Nobody on the planet outside of Philadelphia is going to start a football team with Jalen Hurts if he doesn't have all the components around him. You're going to start it with Justin Herbert. But let me finish here how I read this. Okay? Jalen Hurts, his arrow is moving up. His arrow's moving up. Okay? And I think it's going to continue to move up. Lamar Jackson, you think that arrow is moving up or down? I think it's a big question mark. How about this? Would we not say that arrow for Lamar Jackson, this is a big year for him? Are you going to be healthy? And are you going to carry your Ravens to the playoffs? You got a lot of dudes to compete against in the AFC. You think his arrow's going up or down right now? I'm going to make a point to you, and I'm going to show you here. I think Lamar is what he is. This year will tell us everything we need. Right. I don't think that about Hurts yet. See, when I look at Jalen Hurts, I'm still not sure what I see in a good way. I don't think he's going to regress back to sucking. And not that he ever did, really. Okay, but I don't think he's going to regress backwards like he's going to walk backwards a ton. I don't believe that. And I like what Tone said. Hey, Lamar, you got to kind of up it a little bit here. So would we not go like this? Jalen could pass him. Aaron Rodgers. Hey, this guy's had a great career. He's a Hall of Famer. Nobody's debating that. But how good are you at 40? How far are you carrying the Jets? What do you think his meter's at now? You think that thing's moving up? Or do you think that thing's moving down? Or do you think it's kind of like what it is? Jalen could pass him. Imagine that. But he's 40. I don't think that's a diss on Aaron Rodgers. And it's true. Lamar's got weapons. You know what, though, Quizzy? He's had weapons in the past. Okay, I mean, I would say this about Aaron Rodgers. Could Jalen Hurts pass him this year? Yeah. 40-year-old guy. Comes off a down year. He's in a new environment. Who knows? Rodgers throws for 5,000. Could that be? He could do that too. Rodgers could skyrocket back up the list. I don't, but here again, his needle, I don't know where it is. Same with Lamar. Same with Rodgers. Miguel, pretty damn cool of you. Dan, you're a guy who talks about production. So tell me why Herbert is above Hurts. I'll get there. When Hurts is taking his team to back-to-back playoff appearances, I know Herbert can sling it, but he's let his team down in the playoff game. He let his team down in the playoff game. Miguel? Yes. Yes. The reason that these guys are ranked ahead of Jalen is because they're not taking team accomplishments into play here. They're looking at individual skill set. You guys are adding the Super Bowl appearance. Okay? That's a team accomplishment. I keep telling you guys that. And is that important? I think it is. I think that is. I do. But it's got to be important when you put that same critique on someone else. If Jimmy Garoppolo, who is 49-19, and he takes his team to NFC title games and a Super Bowl, you can't turn around and go, well, he sucks. That's not true. Actually, he beat you 2 years ago, Garoppolo. So when you make that comment, you have to go by skill set. And that's when you guys go, well, Jalen's a better quarterback than Jimmy G. Well, now you're talking about skill. You can't wobble the conversation and add it when you feel like it. And many of you do. So, I think this sheet right here, this Pro Football Focus, is looking at it on skill. They think those 6 quarterbacks are more skilled than Jalen. That's the only way you can look at it, because how many quarterbacks have gone to Super Bowls on this list? Mahomes, Burrow, Rodgers, Hurts. 4 of the 10 guys on this list have gone to Super Bowls. And 1, 2 have won. This is a list of skill, not of team accomplishments. That's how they're evaluating this. They think Justin Herbert is more talented than Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. He is. Again, that conversation goes deeper, though, because Jalen, here, watch this. Justin Herbert is a more skilled quarterback throwing the ball than Jalen Hurts is, and it's not close. Jalen Hurts offers more skill sets and more ways of scoring and more ways of moving the chains than Justin Herbert can. For that matter, Patrick Mahomes. Is that fair? Jalen can move the ball in multiple ways. Mahomes can't. Mahomes can't. Burrow can't. Jalen can. But is Burrow a better passer? Geno Smith is a better passer than Jalen Hurts. Or we'll say this. For two guys who had one great year in their careers, Geno's had a better year than what Jalen did throwing the ball. I've said that to you. But that's not the conversation here. Jalen offers more way of getting the ball to the end zone than any one of these guys on this list. Okay? Jalen stood up in the biggest games. He did not play well in those playoff games. He was spectacular in the Super Bowl, in the biggest game, and that matters. Showing up matters, right? Ask Dak and Kirk Cousins that. Let me finish where I was going here. Justin Herbert, I happen to agree with you guys. For all the skill that guy shows, son, you got to start winning some ball games now. Second fastest guy to 15,000 passing yards. That's all good in today's NFL, and I'm with you. However, you got to cash that in for something. Because after a while, you're going to be called empty calorie stats. You see, listen, I don't have a problem with this list because every quarterback that's ranked ahead of him, maybe Lamar, is a better passer than Hurts. I don't think anybody would debate that. Is he getting better at accuracy? Absolutely. Is he getting better? Yes, all of that is true. Can he get the ball into the end zone multiple ways compared to anybody on this list? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. Okay. Hey, we're going to get Seth Joyner now. We're going to get Seth on now. And we're gonna ask him. And we're gonna go around the room here a little bit. And hey, Tone, did you send him the link here? Because we're gonna get Seth on here, and we're gonna bring Seth up now. Don't forget too, we're gonna do Randy Cross at 4:30, and we're gonna talk a little 49ers with Randy Cross. Those 49er dynasties back in the day. Hey, you know what's funny? The 49ers. They went from Joe Montana to Steve Young the same way that Green Bay went from Favre to Rodgers. So at 4:30, my friend Randy Cross will join us, owner of 3 Super Bowls. We'll talk a little 49ers with him. I'll tell you something. This Pro Football Focus, before we bring Seth on, I want to show you one more time. Is Mahomes a better passer than Hurts? Yes. Is Allen? Yes. Is Burrow? Yes. Is Herbert? Yes. But Jalen is a one-of. He's unique. He can get the ball in the end zone multiple ways. Not one guy on this Pro Football Focus list can do what Hurts does, except maybe Lamar Jackson. And this is the trend of the NFL. Bruce Arians is going to join us tomorrow. These dual threat guys are here to stay. And Hurts is probably the best dual threat quarterback I've ever seen.